Welcome ladies and gentlemen to Gavra Racing. It's the Premier Series. Round 12 at USA GP. Hopefully the stream is in good quality and hopefully no issues. I've been out of TIX now. It's a shame I can't see you today. But hopefully you can return next week. I do understand some people may not be able to join because of PSN servers, which has been an issue as of late. For a few leagues going around as stuff have to be cancelled, but luckily Gavra hasn't cancelled anything and we are good to go, it looks like, as XNA says Play Dutch is replaced me. So okay, Play Dutch is replacing you. Right, okay XNA. So now we only have 16 drivers while we wait for everybody else. Where are you at? Look at the championship table then, since I wasn't here last week because I couldn't connect to the YouTube account and then I had some personal issues to sort out. But I am back now and I'm back for the remainder of the season. We're at USA, so round 12 we've got Mexico, Brazil and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which will be the last round. As right now we will check on the standings then. Dusaint's got a bigger lead than last time I've noticed. Dusaint is in the lead with 231 points. Shank's in second with 188. As it was a two-horse race with these two. It looks like Dusaint has got a very comfortable lead right now and looks set to win the championship as the moment. Constructors, however, is it Toro Rosso in the lead? Yes, it is by 65 points. Toro Rosso are taking the lead. However, at this point are still in chance of winning. There's still a few rounds left for the race point team to try and win the championship. However, I don't know if Alfa Romeo is still in it. Around about 116 points off. So there's how many rounds again? 116 points. 116 points. And how many rounds? 3 rounds. Yeah, this should 75. No, they won't. With 3 rounds, no, they'll just miss out, unfortunately. Actually, no, hang on. 43 is the max. Yeah. They possibly could just be still in it in the constructors' fight. For the drivers, on the other hand, it's just between Shankster and Toussaint. So now we have 18 drivers, and it should be going soon. I'm on my own today as my co-commentator unfortunately is unavailable. A friend of mine, he's got one of his eSport people have called him up, so unfortunately he can't be here today. But I should have a replacement by next week. One of my other friends who I do comms with into another league, Next Aspect, or as Kevin Harrison, some people may know him as. But while we wait, well, USA then, it's a very tricky course. It can you easily invalidate, especially through the S section after turn 1 and 2. You've got to get it nice and right because you can lose a couple of tenths there, and that little mistake can cost you pole position and it could make you go near the back of the grid. And also with the final sector as well, you've got to have a nice setup with downforce to just make that fast right-hander flat out as possible and keep within track limits, of course. If you go off that, you're going to lose time and you could now and then spin it out of control if the weather conditions are intermediate or wet. Having the slicks, you should be okay, but the setups, I think it'll be around about 211 people may use, or 411. I use 511 on this track just to be safe. But I'm not good at USA, so I might have a complete wrong setup for everybody, and I believe it is a one-stop strategy, soft and medium, I believe. As we are now beginning the countdown to the qualifying session, so without further ado then, not that long till qualifying lights do go out. So right now then, while I wait for everybody to load in. So the gap between Shankster and Toussaint is 43 points then. So basically, Shankster needs to outscore Toussaint then. I believe, yeah, Toussaint is here then. So it has to outscore Toussaint. But if Toussaint, I believe, scores 8 points more than Shankster, I believe Shankster, or 9 points more, I believe Shankster is out of the championship fight, and Toussaint will be crowned champion. But that's if 8 points, he can pull an 8-point gap. The only way roughly he could do that is by winning, and Shankster finishing in 3rd place. As we can already hear a few cars going out, and that is a Toro Rosso, and I believe that is Toussaint. So the championship point leader is coming out on track as we speak in the Toro Rosso on the medium compound of tyres, it looks like. And it's not that long for F1 2020 after this season. Couple more months now. Same, we'll be looking to try and wrap this championship up today in USA. Good evening. Right now then, Toussaint will be the first one out. Is that Shankster behind? No, it's not. It's actually Tim. Tim will be Racing Point, who will be next on after the Williams. The Williams team only scored 1 point through the whole entire season. I believe that was from Robert Codfather. Yes. Oh no, neither Williams. Might have been a reserve or who used to be in Williams scored him a point. But right now, Williams are looking for some more points. All they need is one other point or... Oh no, they haven't scored points. Why does it say they have? No, I was reading that wrong. That's replacements. They haven't scored any points this season, unfortunately, Williams. But 1 point would make them happier. As they've got a 33-point gap from Renault. Renault quite further ahead as Toussaint is about to. Toussaint says he can't wrap it up today. Oh no, my apologies, he can't wrap it up today. Sorry, my apologies, I forgot my scores there. So then Toussaint then comes into the pits as we'll go on board with Tim then, who is on the soft compound of tyre. It's getting a little bit cloudy now as we go on board with Tim. Let's see how he can take the fastest section. Just make sure he doesn't go cut the corner. He slips off a little bit there. Make it through that section. Goes down to 5th gear, now it drops to 4th. Stays in 4th gear up through this little straight, just trying to make this straight as possible. We saw Vettel lose his right rear tyre. It failed on him. Now into the hairpin corner he goes. There from Tim. So now he'll be climbing up speed. See how fast this Racing Point can go, then down the straight. Let's see how good his aero package is. In the speed of 203 miles an hour. Oh, bit of a lock up there on the left front. That's going to cost him a little bit of time as he almost lost control of the car there. With a little right-hander. This is where the downforce kicks in. If you've got a high front wing setup, this is where you can get a lot of time. With a big fast right hander, my favourite part of this circuit. Nice and tidy there from Tim. Just keeps it within track limits. Let's go through now the final corners. We have yellows. I believe that's a Red Bull or McLaren there, just going out the way a lap. Tim sets a 33.9 on soft tyres, and then we will have a Williams, I believe, Willie Sanko, or is it Robert? It's actually Willie Sanka. So here comes Willie Sanka then. Unfortunately his lap will be invalid, but he would have done a 1:42.4. We'll put him in 2nd place then, as one of the Renaults or both Renaults are on out laps. and it's a Ferrari of Zaza. Here comes Zaza through the final corner. He takes a 36.3, so he's 3 seconds off Tim right now. The next car up is a Haas, I believe. Sauber, but unfortunately he is invalidated. Alex got a Mac there, who's just coming across that to begin his lap. Then there was a Toro Rosso, I believe, to Saint. No, it's actually his teammate, Gola, who has just took second with 34.2 on medium tyres then. Then Infama takes third. Then the Red Bull, I believe, a 1-2 down just in a lap. Unfortunately, was invalidated. Just finished that with now two Saints coming across the line, as we're going to go on board with Shankster then. So unfortunately invalidated so far. I don't know if he is in the Freshman League, Vinny, since it's my first time on my own. Could be in the Freshman League. Let's play Dutch then. How's that? Dirty Larry is finishing off his lap. I don't believe Tim's on another lap, but he could be actually. Is he going to peel? No, he's not. Willie Sanker is. Let's go on board with Willie Sanker. Then what time will he be? 1:38.7 there in 5th place on the medium compound of tyre. Then the Renault of Duke goes second with 34 flat. What about Gavra? Oh, bit of the rear kicked out there. What time will it be? It'll be 6th place with 1:36.5 on mediums as well. So Renault's are currently 2nd and 6th right now. And here comes Dirty Larry, no, sorry, Play Dutch then, on the hards, goes 7th with 38.2. And now the Haas driver of Salbo there, coming around the final corner, doesn't invalidate this time. What time will it be? It'll be 4th with a 1:35 flat there. Should be happy with that as we go on board with Alex Gunnar Mack, who's next, who's actually going into the pits there and invalidated his lap. I don't think he'll be using those tyres for a while, as I believe 1-2 down is next to finish off his soft tyre run. There's a bit of a lock up there. And Infamela is actually pitting, it looks like. Yep, he pits. 1-2 down takes the lead though with a 33.3. What about Toussaint? Has he got anything to answer to 1-2 down? As he comes to Toussaint and to the line. 1:34.5 goes to 5th currently right now. What about his championship rival Shankster? Coming around the final corner. What time will it be? Activates the DRS to the line. 34 flat there. Already showing he's got a little bit more pace than Toussaint by 5/10 there. And he's now in 4th as Shankster then lets his teammate go. As I don't know, there's actually a Renault there gone off. That's Duke there. Has he got any damage to the car? I don't think he has. And I don't believe anybody is actually on a lap. Oh, Player Dutch actually is on the hard still. He's finishing off his lap. Then what time will it be? 34.5. Wow, on the hard tyres. That is a very good lap. Let's play Dutch, I believe, will be coming out into the pits then. Is anybody else on an actual flying up or coming near a flying? Let's have a look. Oh, Salbo, will he be pitting? He may, no, he actually is pitting then. What about, is that Toussaint still on the lap? No, he's pitting as well. Then there's a Red Bull 1-2 down, I believe that is. Yes, it is, but there is Tim actually. Tim is next up on a lap then. We'll go on board with Tim. Let's see how he takes the final corner. Round the final corner he goes, tries to take a nice wide entry to try and gain a little bit more speed down the straight, then activates his DRS now, in DRS mode 4. He's staying 7th gear, he goes to 8th then. Drops down the gears, staying in 3rd gear there, a bit of a hesitation in the gearing as we get a nice camera shot from the nose. Avoids the curb a little bit there. Now he's going back through the S section, as we did see him earlier, lift off a little bit, lifts off again just to try and make it, but it was a little bit more tidier this time. As he's trying to pick up the pace and see if he can take pole position from 1-2 down. Leaving Awesome Assassin, welcome to the stream. Let's see what split he will be in sector 2 and what sector. I keep saying split because I'm used to the Gavra Dirt Rally. But right now then, here comes Tim now. Right down the main straight. DRS wide open. Ooh, big lock up there on the front tyres. It's going to lose him a little bit of time. It's going to flat spot those softs. And he's fallen a bit tense up on his lap right now. Unfortunately, we're not put in pole position at the moment. So raise my track mats a little bit. Just with the fast right hand, hits the curb a little bit. Doesn't run too far wide. Goes down to 5th. That's correct here, but unfortunately he's invalidated. And that is his lap over. So unfortunately, he can't finish the lap as we go on board with Triple O then, who is on the medium compound of tyres, who's next up to finish a lap. There's a bit of a lock up there on the mediums. Oh, he runs completely off the track there and has invalidated, and unfortunately that will be his lap over as Black Country Mush is next, also invalidated, and there's a big train of cars behind. Zaza, I believe, on an actual lap, so Mercedes may need to move out of the way very shortly. I believe that's Alex Gunnar Mack who's also on a lap. Alex Gunnar Mack, oh, big lock up there from him. And comes across the line. Now Gavra is going to be on a lap now, so we'll go on step board on him and watch how he does. Maybe jukebox gaming. Unfortunately, I didn't see what happened last week. Can you give me a little bit of information what happened last week? Was it entertaining? Was it awesome? Right now then, let's see how Gavra takes the S section. Does he lift off? Brakes though a little bit, doesn't lift off. Just breaks over on his yellows. That is a Williams. I believe that's Robert Codfather there. Or Willie sank it. No, it's actually Robert Codfather. He's unfortunately gone off. Right now then, let's see what Gavra can do. It's the hairpin. Tries to get the acceleration correct. Unfortunately, runs a little bit wide. Luckily, doesn't get an invalidated lap. DRS now is activated. There's an Alfa Romeo behind him. I believe that is Dirty Larry there. Or Play Duchies. They both are on out laps. They're not on actual flying laps. As Triple O is though. There's a bit of a lock up there from the Renault. So I've noticed both Renaults are having a bit of problems with the brakes. There's another lock up there again on those soft tyres. You've got to be careful with those softs. They're going to have a lot of grip, especially if you qualify within the top 10. You're going to be using these in the race. You need to try and do one good lap. Make sure they don't get any flat spots, any damage or anything on the tyres. As he runs a bit wide, and that's what I mean. You need the downforce, and somehow that isn't invalidated. And runs wide again. That will be invalidated, I think. No, it's not, surprisingly. And he's coming to the line. What time will Gavra do? Now it's a 1:36.1. Does improve there. As we'll go on board with Triple O now, who I believe is on a lap. He's set 2 laps, unfortunately being invalidated. I believe he is next on a lap then. Let's see how the McLaren does. On TV pod view. Lifts off a little bit there. He's not confident in the S section. 2 cents. It's a new fastest lap, 32.3. So he's picked up the pace from his teammate. Another lock up there from Triple O. I've got to say, Triple O's had a tough season. Had a lot of bad luck, a few incidents, and invalidates. More bad luck for him, and that's his lap over. As we'll go on board with Player Dutchy, who's not that far behind Gavra and Triple O on the medium compound of tyres in the Alfa Romeo right now. He's going to possibly get a little bit of slipstream from the Renault, only a tiny bit, if he's within range, of course. As Dirty Larry, Techers, Triple O, Black Country Motion, Robert Codfather still need to set times on the board. They're the only people who haven't set lap times. He's up by 5 a bit tenths, and he's purple. So Play Duchy is currently challenging for pole apparently in sector 2, as he's currently faster there. That'll be a very good time, especially if he can do that. A 32.3 on medium tyres. Currently his time is a 34.5. So we've seen he can match hard tyres from people who are using the medium tyres. As here comes Play Dutch then. Coming to the final corners, Triple O finally does come into the pits then, possibly going to go for a new set of soft tyres. And here comes Play Dutch. What time will it be? It'll be P3 with 33.3 there. So unfortunately a second off, but on the mediums that's an alright time, and he will be happy, especially with that lap there, to be third. Because there the Ferrari slows down just to let Paolucci go through. And I believe that is Shankster there finishing off his lap then. As apparently he's set almost 8/10 up on his lap. Hasn't invalidated at the moment as he's going through the final corners. Yells in sector 2, I believe that's the Alfa Romeo, letting the Mercedes through. And here comes Shanks then to the line, takes second with 32.541. It says 5.42 on the lap thing, but it's actually 1, and he takes second there by a bit. So he's going, we possibly could get into 31s possibly. It'll be a high 31, low 32. He's already hitting the low 32s there. And there's a Red Bull there. Is that 1 shot 2 down? He's made a mistake in the pit entry there. And you can see he's not happy there. High revving the Red Bull engine. And I believe that's what Codfather, who's finishing off his lap. He's actually on a lap right now, so we'll stay on board with him then. On the soft compound tyre. Done 3 laps on them. Going to be the best if he's going to try and make it into the top 10 in the race. Goes a bit deep into turn 1 and just backs off and lets the 2 drivers through. As Rick says, it should be nice fight between Toussaint and Ducci tonight. Nice fight to see then. It will be a nice close battle, if, especially with Ducci with a 33.3 on mediums, not that far off Toussaint. And he's on a different compound of tyre then. Alex Gunnar-Mack is currently on the soft run tyres, and he's already invalidated through the S section. That's how easy one little mistake, one little lack of concentration you do, and it will just make a mistake like that. As now he's going to have to save his ERS because he's only got 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. Oh, he's like he lost it there. You can just tell he's not happy. And I believe that's Zaza now coming across the line, or was that Tekers? Tekers is on a lap. He's got 100% ERS, but he's not using all the ERS modes. Maybe he's doing slipstream for his teammates. Could be an interesting strategy. Nines as a Shankster has caught it here, then he can't get anywhere closer to the Saint, so he's going to stay in second place at the moment. 1 shot 2 down, also retires as well, stays in third then. Play Dutch, Wyatt goes in fourth. So can anybody else master a challenge to Toussaint? Because Toussaint currently right now is on an outlap, but Tekers doesn't give Zaza a bit of slipstream. Wow, wasn't expecting that. I was actually expecting a little bit of slipstream, possibly Zaza to repay the favour. Zaza is on a good lap right now. Apparently he's purple in sector 1. There's yellow flags in sector 3. I believe that's for the Williams there. Possibly coming into the pits, and yes he is. I believe that's for Robert Cotwell. There's Senker's already in the pits then. As here comes Zaza now, almost a second up on his time. That'll be a 35.3. See how much more time he can find on these softs. As Gogola unfortunately has to call it a day, as he looks like he's lost it through the S section then, so he won't be improving his time. But Duke has gone up to 5th now in the Renault. What about Zaza though? Don't count Zaza out in the qualifying order. Will he be in the top 10? Will he be in the top 3? Where will he be? Through the final corner he goes. Activates his DRS and goes 10th with 35.4 there. Only found 8/10. It's a little bit of time through the final sector. As Infamil unfortunately invalidates, and that's his lap over, and unfortunately can't make it to the line, as Tekers will be the last person to make it to the line, of course, as Tim is next up, who is on a finishing lap, hasn't invalidated it yet. Got to make sure he makes it nice and tidy, almost runs wide, keeps it within track limits. Coming through the final corner now. What time will it be? Will it be a 32? It's going to be a 33.1, takes 4th place there, so Racing Point are challenging the Toro Rossos today. Then there's a McLaren there, I believe, of Triple O. Will his bad luck end and get a good qualifying position? Come through to final corners, and Mercedes right behind. Triple O takes 12. Country Mush, I believe, is in 8th. Now, is that Duke there? Yeah, Duke comes into the pits then. I believe that is... Did he lie there? That's his AI. That's actually Toussaint there, coming around the final corner. So Toussaint may have improved on his lap. Will it be an improvement? Yes, it is. 32.232 there. That's the new fastest lap. It looks like nobody can challenge. But what about Tekers? Tekers is the only person out on a lap right now. apparently 11.9 seconds up on his time, and it's not surprising since he set a 1:53.9 as a banker possibly. Just to see where the pace he could find. As here comes Tekkers then through the final 2 corners. Oh no, he runs wide, and somehow that's not invalidated, but he's going to still keep it going. Around the final corner, almost loses the rear end a little bit there, so it's a 1:38.6. Only goes to 15th there. However, his teammate Zaza is in 10th. And that is qualifying over as we wait for Zaza actually to retire the car. Robert Codwell was the only person in the Williams to not set a time. I've got to say the Williams team have not had it easy this season with me commentating over this season. That's the Saint then. Top step yet again in quali. Shankster in second. Now Shankster is really good with his strategy calls. Has been let down by a few issues last time at Spain. I believe Hungary may have been an issue for him with the strategy, but could challenge Saint then today. As the championship rivals are first and second then. So Saint does take first with a 32.2. Shankster in second by 3/10 there. 1.2 down third. Tim in fourth. Play Dutch in fifth on the mediums. Duke in 6th, Gogola in 7th, Black Country Mush in 8th. Good qualifying after he was near the back at the start of quali. Sour Mister in 9th in the Haas. Zaza takes 10th in the Ferrari. Infima in 11th. Triple O hoping for some luck today in 12th. Gavra in 13th. Alex Gunnermack in 14th. AB Tekkers, poor qualifying for him in 15th with a 38.6 on mediums. Willie Sanker in 16th, trying to get Williams some points on the board. Dirty Larry in 17th. And Robert Codfather, who didn't set a lap time unfortunately, couldn't get the car up to grips around this track. Don't get me wrong, it is a tough track now and then to keep it within the track limits, but unfortunately didn't set a lap time and he will be at the back of the grid. Sometimes back of the grid actually can be a blessing if there's a massive crash. Not hoping there is a massive crash of course, but anything can happen of course. This is F1, someone could spin out of control, massive pile up. While we wait for people then to pick their strategy calls, as I believe it's a standard one-stop, soft to medium. Also, you can't count out the safety car. That could also spice up the strategy. I believe it's one-stop, soft to medium. It could be soft, medium, medium. But if safety car does come out, it's definitely soft to medium strategy. Begin the formation line. It was one of the race points there. Tim, it looked like had a slow getaway, but that is an issue for him in the race, as he's going to try and get back into his normal spot. So then let's see the drivers then at the top 10, what tyre choice they went on. If Blair then stays on the medium tyres, Triple O does stay on the soft, so Triple O is looking for a very quick start to try and get his way through the field. Gavra in 13th on mediums with Alex Gunnermack and Tekkers also following that scenario. Willie Sanker then in 16th on softs with Dirty Larry, and Robert Codfather then on mediums. So the Williams are doing ultimate strategies then. Possibly not to get held up if one of them were on the same strategy and if both got wing damage, and not to do a two-stop strategy. Although it's all for the battle for the front. Saint versus Shankster in the championship. It's been like this all season round. Who's going to be winning this race? Who's going to get the most points in the championship fight? Saint would like a win to gain an advantage. Shankster is in second. There's a few more rounds left, so Saint, as he said, can't wrap up the championship this week. Well, this is good news for Shankster. Shankster still has a lot of time to try and close that gap to Saint and try and gain some points, especially after what happened in Singapore to him. Unfortunately, that little mistake in the wall. Unfortunately, the wall was out, and he unfortunately just climbed right into it, and that unfortunately lost him a lot of points, especially to Saint. And that's why the gap is around about 43 points at the moment. Saint then is coming around the final corners now. The AI, I believe, has taken control. 28 laps of this USA Grand Prix. Who is going to take the win? Who is going to end up at the back of the field? Wait for the cars to line up then. Those line up then as the lights will be starting very shortly. They're starting to rev their engines now. It's 2 lights, 3 lights, now 4 lights, now 5 red lights in the USA Grand Prix. And they're off and lights out. And it looks like Torres is an okay start. But look at the Shankster. Shankster's already takes the lead. Oh, and a bit of contact between Shankster and Saints. Look at the Renault there. Duke trying to go on the inside of Tim. Tim's had a great start. Tim loses the rear end though a little bit. And it's going to possibly cost him a few times. It looked like there was a bit of contact there. And there's a Haas almost lose control of the car. And the problem for Gavra, as he got some damage to the Renault trying to control his car as he slows completely down. As Willie Sankers had a good start, moved at 13th there. Robert Conroy's going up to 17th. There's Yellows further behind. And there's a Toro Rosso. That's Gogola. He's gone off. And who's that racing point? Is that a race point with him? As there's a Renault as well. There's a chaos all over the place. That's Duke. Duke's gone off as well. So these two may have come to blows and had contact with Gogola. Has to avoid the Renault there. Although back to the action up front. This is a big action fight for P5 right now. As Zaza is trying to get past Salvo right now, but he's also under threat by One Shot Two Down, who's lost a lot of positions from the start, who did qualify in 3rd, is now in 7th place and getting challenged by Triple O, who's had a great start, currently in 8th place right now, and same with Tekkers. Tekkers is in 9th. However, Shankster is in the lead, which is saying in 2nd place. It's been a little bit of a chaotic start as One Shot Two Down goes diving into the inside ahead of Zaza and gets the move done and unsettles Zaza a little bit now, possibly under threat by Triple O as Triple O is looking hungry and One Shot Two Down doesn't have the downforce maybe that he wants, so Zaza's on the outside. Zaza makes a mistake. Triple O goes on the inside now, side by side, the McLaren versus the Ferrari. The Ferrari does get it off at the end there and Zaza does take that position still. I'll go back to the battle forefront. There's more yellow flags. I believe that's the Alfa Romeo going into the pits there, and I believe that is Dirty Larry there who has to make a scheduled pit stop. Right now, they're keeping an eye on the battle from the front. Renault, I believe, and Gavra maybe retiring the car. Sorry, not Gavra, Duke, sorry, might be retiring the car there as he's made a mistake. Yep. He's left the session, so I think he won't be coming back anytime soon. As look at you sitting there just trying to find a gap, but he's in a racing point sandwich right now. And here comes Tim. Tim's thinking back on the inside. Oh, there's a little bit of wheel banging between Toussaint and Tim there. As Tim now tries to show him off a little bit off the track. That does show him completely off and gets position as Dutch almost rear ends Toussaint, gets alongside. He is on the medium compounded tyre, and those mediums shouldn't be as grippy as the softs at the moment. As there's fights all over the place. As further on, there's a big battle for P7. Triple O is trying to fancy his chances with Zaza right now, and he's going on the inside, going into the right-hander. Locks up a little bit, trying to make it work. Zaza tries to stay around the outside. Now got the inside in the next corner, and Zaza thinks about it but stays behind right now, and he's going to wait his turn. Unfortunately, can't make it work as now he's... Oh, Tekkers almost rear ends him, and that opens the door for Black Country Mush to try and sneak around the inside. And Willie Sanker is currently in 11th in the Williams and could get a point, but he has got wind damage on that end plate, so he wasn't looking to avoid any contact at the start, but could get Williams' first point of the season. He's played up sets fast up the mediums at 137.7 as the fight for P8, P9 is really hotting up. There's battles all over the track. Black Country Mush now is trying to catch up with Zaza's. DRS, I believe, has been enabled this lap. Black Country Mush for some reason has backed up there in turn 1 as Tekkers there looked like he wasn't going to stop. But he does. Willie Sanker now drops to 12th. So by his time, have to be worried that much. That one damage may cost him a little bit of time, but anything can happen in this race as there is a fight for the lead. However, as the soft tyres look like they're not holding up that well. As Duke's AI has pitted, and so is Dirty Larry. Oh, whoa, hang on, that's Shankster. Shankster's round. The championship rival Toussaint is round and has lost a few positions. Now dropped to P5 now. He was first then, and he's made a mistake, and Player Dutch has now made a move on Tim. He's going around the outside. I unfortunately missed what happened to Shankster there. And Player Dutch scores a little bit off track there. still side by side, but Tim keeps the lead. And this is not what Racing Point want. They want the other Racing Point possibly in the lead, especially for the championship's sake. But they will be happy with Tim right now from the constructor's point of view, as Tim's also struggling with the rears, so as a soft already overheated on lap 3. Descent then is slowly catching up with the Alfa Romeo now. Wants to try and fight back. Shanks has lost a lot of time and could have cost him this race win unless he can fight back somehow. Tim looks quite strong in the front then, doesn't have to worry about play Dutch right now. He isn't close enough to challenge for an attack at the moment. Oh, we don't count out Toussaint then. Just trying to close up on the section, but this is where the dirty air kicks in, unfortunately. With the dirty air nowadays, you can't really get really up close to a car. Willy Sanka moves back to 11th then, as there's a fight between him and Gavra. Looks like it is back into 11th, so someone has made a mistake, and I believe that was carbon fibre I saw then coming off the track, and I believe that was from Infernella there. I think he's lost a big chunk of his front wing. So we're on board with Play Dutch right now. He looks like he's going to try and take the move for the lead of this race. Tim is defending, trying to make him squeeze him completely off track there, but Play Dutch is not having it. It's going on the inside, locks up a little bit as it's still going side by side, has to give him the space, and there's more contact between the Racing Point. Oh, and Racing Point sends it right on the right hander, licks the stamp and sends it there on Play Dutch. The Alfa Romeo and the Racing Point are going side by side into this tricky complex, and oh, the Racing Point tried the switch, but those soft tyres on the rear end have just not got any more grips. There's a fight further one behind between Zaza and Triple O, and one shot, two down is trying to make it move. Triple O makes it lunge also on Zaza as the way, oh, well, that's Bollard there, and unfortunately can't make the move work at the moment. How Play Dutch now retakes the lead then from Tim, as he was in the lead earlier for just a split second. Now Tim is left by Toussaint. Toussaint now gets the job done. Is that an Alfa Romeo coming out of the pits? It is. Oh, here comes Tim now, and Toussaint side by side. Almost squeezed each other off there. Triple O gets the first 3 second tyre penalties to his time as Infamy has pitted, so it was Infamy who had the big damage. Willy Sanka now drops to 13th and moving up to 12th, moving to 13th. Keeps switching. Black Country Motions. There's fights all over the place. Really losing track of it right now. As there's yellow flags dead ahead. Who is that? That's Zaza. Zaza's gone off. Dangerous rejoin. And Willy Sanka has to do an avoiding action. Same with Alex Gunn and Mac there. Luckily, no front wing damage from almost rear-ending each other. And that has really put Willy Sanka off his game. And Alex Gunn and Mac is now challenging him on the medium compound tyres. But there should be some benefit, though, that it's starting to get cloudier. Maybe Willy Sanka's rear tyres on the softs can cool down. As he runs a bit deep there, it's the hairpin, and Alex Gunn and Mac says thank you very much. Doesn't need an extra invitation and gets to position with ease. Right now then, we will jump for the battle for P7 actually. I was going to say P6, but Triple O has now got past Heckers, and now his next victim is Black Country Mush. Shanks gets a 3 second time penalty, couldn't leave 5th place. And apparently that's his 3rd mistake in a row. Apparently he's the next new veteran. Maybe not liking the way the season has gone near the end of the season, as he had a great start to the season, especially with Toussaint as well. As these two have only been people battling for the championship. Shanks now is slowly caught up to Salvo. One thing he can't afford today, though, is score less points than what Toussaint's going to score. Right now, Toussaint's going to score 18 points at the moment. Shanks is trying to stay within the slipstream of the Hastra right now on the medium. So Shanks' softs now are starting to work. Maybe because of the cloudy conditions, as the Hastra runs it a little bit wide. Tekkers gets a 3 second time penalty added to his time there. Shanks there lost a little bit of time there, the Salvo. But he was within a couple of tenths. Got to keep an eye on the fight though for P8 again and P9. There's battles all over the place, and I'm quite surprised. It is USA, of course. I thought the grid would be more spread out than what it is right now. As we'll go on board with Gavra who's currently under threat by Tekers then after his Ferrari teammate Tekers, Zaza, made a big mistake as the second round drops to 14th. And his Tekers going to get close enough to Gavra, not at the moment. Gogola isn't on far either. Shanks then finally gets past Salvo. I think Salvo might have let him through. But God, there's fights all over the place. There's now the Ferrari of Tekers and Gogola going side by side. They're almost touching tyres. Gogola has to go off the middle of the track just to make sure there wasn't contact from these two. Tekers is being sent for a try. This Gogola goes off the track again. It's just exceeding track limits at the moment. There's only probably a couple of warnings there. Tekers yet again is struggling with the rear end, and these conditions aren't helping the medium compound of tyres, and it's helping the soft tyres stay alive for a little bit longer. However, the 1-2 down has made a scheduled pit stop. This of course in the medium tyres is on lap 7 now, and he's going for the undercut. And the undercut is very strong around here, as now we'll go on board with Triple O. He's the closest person to Gavra to amount of challenges. The yellow's further behind. That's Tekers. Tekers is off. That's the second Ferrari off. That's both Ferraris then gone off in the same part of the track, and now they're going to fight each other off. As now we'll go on board with Triple O. I don't understand what is happening with the Ferraris today. They have issues in real life at this track, but now the DRS is activated on Triple O. He is in attack range, but luck of that ERS is 5%, not enough to really amount of challenges. And on count out Gogola. He's fancying his chances with both of the drivers. Tries to switch, Triple O locks up there, leaves the gap open. Gogola's probably send it. Triple O locks up to try and give him the room. And here goes Gogola, makes the move done, and gets past as yet again Triple O locks up on those softs. So I think for Triple O it's time to make a scheduled pit stop on a set of medium tyres, and because those softs aren't going to work, because he goes off again, he's losing too much time now. So those soft runners are really starting to unravel and lose a little bit of time. As you can see, what you're saying, this Black Country Motion is now in the pits. Has Triple O gone in? No, Triple O hasn't gone in. His team is not that far behind on the medium tyre. Black Country Motion is the only person going this lap, and I'd say for the top runners, which you're saying Tim and Shanks, I'd pit now, really. And so you need to pit now anyway, because you're losing too much time there to play Dutch. 2 seconds at the moment. Don't count out Gavra's trying amount of challenge to Gavra, as he's really catching up in the S section there. As you can just see slowly through the braking zones, he's got a lot more grip, but you wouldn't expect that on the soft tyres. They basically should be dead right now, and you can just see Gavra's not got that confidence. Has he got wing damage? It doesn't look like he's got any wing damage. He may have a bit of minor damage, but not damage to affect him like that, especially through the corners. It just made me no confidence, or just no grip. Oh, and speaking about no grip, Gogola's gone into the wall. That's big chunk of front wing damage, and has to wait for the other McLaren to go through. So I don't know what's with the tyres today. They're just not working at the moment. And there's actually another fight further behind of Zaza and Black Country. Yet again, Willie Sanke is in almost in the top 10. He's in 11th right now, still with that wing damage. Just trying to help Williams try and score their first ever points. Let's take a look at how he runs a bit wide. Will anybody else pit near the top? No one else pits. What about Gavra? Will he? No, Gavra doesn't need a pit. He's on mediums. But we already know Gogola's going to pit. What about Triple O? Will he make a scheduled stop? No, he stays out. What about his teammate, Alex Gunmack? No, he also stays out. So, however, he is on the medium tyres. Maybe that's an interesting strategy. Gogola is losing a lot of time, especially with his front wing, as he just can't hit the corners. Got to have to pit now. And he's probably told Toussaint he can't pit because of this. And he's in. Of course, it's a scheduled stop, but a lot of time. As his yellow's further ahead, I believe that's Dirty Larry who made that mistake. Yeah, it was. Dirty Larry unfortunately lost it in the S section. Look, it hasn't affected anybody else. As we'll go back on board with Black Country Mush now, who's got a little bit of a gap. Actually, we've actually lost battle for P4. Shankster isn't safe. Salvo is now remounting the challenge in the ass. maybe a little bit good news for the Toro Rosso team, especially in the constructors. Right now, Racing Point team 3rd and 4th. They're going to score the most for the constructors' point of view, but Shankster is going to be a bit disappointed that he's going to lose a little bit a point from Tim, especially with Toussaint. Sorry, not Tim, from Toussaint there. Toussaint finally pits. Will Shankster pit then? Tim doesn't go in. What about Shankster? Does he stay out? Yeah, he does. Shankster stays out, but maybe that wasn't the right call. But maybe he's going to try the overcut. Now he's going to have to gain 8 seconds. Toussaint's in. Has he had a 5-second penalty, looked like there from Toussaint? Very slow stop. Oh, that might have been just him taking a while to get to the pits. As he's getting passed by Dirty Larry, who's a 1 lap down, who's going to have to give him the position. Toussaint won't be happy with that, especially with this Alfa Romeo in his way. The Alfa Romeo does back off, very smart and sensible there from Dirty Larry. As now we'll go on board Salvador. Triple O finally makes his pit stop, and same with Zaza. Zaza's also in the pits now, so maybe the pit stop sequence will be happening very shortly for Tim and Shankster. But if I was Tim, I would have pitted, tried the undercut on Play Dutch, because now it could be a Racing Point double stack, and this is not what Shankster needs, especially while he's in 3rd place right now. He's net 4th, but currently in 3rd, but he's still under threat by Salvo. Salvo hasn't left him at all. As he goes around the outside, those mediums are now starting to work. And if I was Shankster, I may have let him through and just go in the pits as long as Tim doesn't pit for as well. Salvo does get the move done, but Shankster isn't calling quits. Salvo keeps the position at the moment after re-overtaking Shankster there on the outside after the straightest play. It has pitted for... Wow, that's an early pit stop. Why is he pitted? Is there rain inbound or something? As Tim's in. So Shankster's going in. The Racing Point team are double stacking, and this is not good for Shankster right now. Maybe the Racing Point team think he's got enough of a gap. May have lost a little bit of time. Not the slickest double stack I've seen. Toussaint then takes 3rd place now. For some reason, Play Dutch didn't go that long on mediums. Maybe he's doing a 2-stop, medium, soft, soft. Could be interesting. You may think he's got the pace over everybody else to try that. As he did jump Salvo though at the pits, as we have an interesting battle for P6 then. Shankster, after he's coming out the pits on fresh mediums, is now on Alex going to Mac, and there's a Williams. Is that Robert Codfather? It is. Tekers has left the session, but Robert Codfather's got a big chunk of damage on that Williams, and the Williams team, and Toussaint's lagged out. Toussaint has lagged out the session, and now Black Country Mush has lagged out the session. What is happening? Drivers unfortunately have just lagged out, and this is great news for Shankster. And now here comes Shankster then, coming on the inside of Alex Gunnar Mac. Gets the move. Job done. Now he's ahead of the McLaren. His next target is Gavra, who's 6.8 seconds up the road. There's 1 shot, 2 down. Then makes move on Black Country Mush. Locks up a little bit, and Black Country Mush is probably trying to again. Oh, a bit of contact with the front wing of the Mercedes into the rear end of the Red Bull's left rear tyre. Now fight is kind of backed off, but there's more yellows in sector 1. Is that Robert Codfather there just letting the Alpha through? I believe he may be 2 laps down. No, he's only a lap down. That might have been Play Dutch there, and it is Play Dutch. Look already, Play Dutch has made a 4.2 second gap there to Salvo. He's making a great race today. We'll go gap to leader, especially from Toussaint. It's 12.8 seconds, so maybe this is why he's doing this strategy. Medium, soft, soft. This is Toussaint. He's losing time, a lot of time, because he's in AI. Because unfortunately he's not in the session. This isn't good news for him. It's possibly going to cost him the win of today's race, as you roughly need a 20-second gap in the pits. And right now, the only person who could challenge for the win at the moment is Tim, unless Dutch makes that gap of 20 seconds. And Salvo doesn't need a pit yet, and maybe this is why he's staying. out for a little bit longer. I'm very surprised that Dutch actually pitted very early, and he's literally absolutely smashing those tyres right now. The gap is 7.2 seconds. I wonder how long those soft tyres are going to last. Remember, we did see a few guys on the soft tyres rear end just completely kick out. I think players are just going to set a new fastest lap anyway, and he does. He sets a 36 flat. Now let's see what Tim's fast lap is. A 38.4 and 38.1, and Salvo a 39.1. So 3 seconds faster at the moment. And the gap's leader from Tim is almost 18 seconds, and he just gets past Toussaint as an AI. Willie Sang gets a 3-second time penalty, currently in 16th. Still possibly got a chance to score Williams their first ever point this season. Toussaint is not in the car. Right now, slowly getting caught by Shankster. Shankster now 1.3 seconds. Play Dutch to Sauber now is almost 10 seconds right now, and it is 10 seconds, just hit the 10-second mark. Gap from leader from Tim now is 18 seconds. Only a few more seconds he needs to have a pit stop gap. Activates his DRS, makes a move on Gavra. Gavra doesn't really fight for it, lets him through. I understand that doesn't really need a fight at the moment, especially on a different strategy right now. Dutch, that's a new fast start, 35.8. He now breaks into 35s now. It's really flying. Now the gap 12.1 seconds. He's almost gained, he's roughly gained 6 seconds there in a couple of laps. He's gained in total 12.6 seconds within 3 laps since he's pitted. So he's really flying on those softs. But Cardfather gets a penalty then, 3 seconds. So there is an interesting fight for P11 right now. Triple O and Gorgola slowly catching up towards each other. Close spot we do have on track at the moment. You see there, Shankster and Gavra just making out of turn 1. With a walk up there from the McLaren Triple O, and Triple O's, as I said, Triple O hasn't had the best season, but it looks like he had a good race today, although he's going to get passed by Gogola quite easily there. Gogola is on the soft tyres, he's on a 2-stop strategy it looks like. Gogola will be pitting against. Triple may not have to worry about that fight, but make sure that he doesn't build up too much of a gap. As Duke's AI has just pitted yellows in sector 1. Is that Zaza? It is the Ferraris yet again and losing it through the S section. Josh Miller, this race is on PS4, not on PC, this is PS4 platform. And Zaza yet again losing the car in the S section, so it just looks like the Ferrari team just don't have the pace. And Robert Cardfather is peeling into the pits then. He gets 5 second time for speed in the pits. Shankster now is passing his championship rival. He's already caught up since he's in AI, and now this is great news for him, especially for the championship's sake. He's going to gain a few points now ahead of him. He's scored 12 points, I believe, so he's scoring 2 points ahead of the same right now. So we'll go back on board with Tekkers, see how he can take the S section, see if he loses it again like the Ferrari. Other Ferrari has. Just Gavra gets 3 second time and added to his time. has lost the time what he had and is just losing. So you can just see there the Ferraris just don't look confident through the S section, and that is a big issue for them as they're losing too much time to even challenge people. There's Gogola now on the soft 6 laps old. And wow, I've just noticed the cap for Blade Dutch to Salvo, almost 20 seconds. Wow. He's actually a man on a mission right now. Salvo has done 15 laps on those mediums on lap 16 out of 28. Salvo, Gavra, Alex Gunn and Mac, AB Techers, and I can say him and Dirty Larry, the only guys staying out the longest on the compound tyres they're on, compared to what Dutch did on the mediums. He's absolutely flying. Gap now 21.3 seconds. He's really flying. He's got an illegal engine in there. He's got a 2021 engine in there or something. Because he is on a mission right now. He's not even using that much ERS. As yellow flags, that's a Red Bull. Sorry, Toro Rosso. That I believe is Gogola. Oh, Gogola almost goes to the blood. So Gogola's lost all that time he gained away from Tekka, so now his softs are starting to fail. And he lost it, unfortunately. Something popped up. But his tyres now are starting to completely go off the cliff, so he may need a pit stop low there. Goes a bit off track there, almost to the shanks there. As the gap between Tim and Shanks is 5.6 seconds. I wonder if... Oh, hang on. I thought Triple O went completely off there. But as I was saying, Tim and Shanks then... Shanks has a little bit of time to his team, but if he can gain the time and close up under a second, I wonder if there'll be team orders to be played for the championship's sake. But right now, Tim is in a challenge now on Sailboat. Isn't that far off him. Only needs to get a little bit more near the detection range. Oh, and there's yellow flags. That's Triple O. Oh, that's unfortunate. His mediums there just went on him. And he's lost that time. He was near Tekka's. And I think it may need to be a pit stop for softs or something. No, he stays out. Alex going to Mac. Maybe that's because Alex going to Mac pitted. Alex going to Mac is going to jump him then. On the soft compound of tyres. Still, unfortunately, isn't DRS range this time. But he's still gaining. It looks like the response are going to seal the deal. For second and third, it looks like. He's really catching up with Salvo. As here comes Tim then, makes the move on Salvo. Salvo's not really trying to fight it, I think. Oh, Salvo actually almost lost the rear end. So the mediums surely can't last that much longer. As 1.2 down is now past 2 cents. Consent's now dropped to 6th. Now he's only going to get 8 points. But he's an AI. I don't know if... Actually, I don't even count him as finishing. Actually, I think he won't get any points. He isn't back unless he comes back and get control of his car. So this is actually great news for Shanks. He can gain some points what he lost in Singapore. There's a VSC for some reason. I've just missed that. Oh, Infamous retired. What's on to Infamous? Where is he retired on? Oh, well, he's Trek's car's no longer there. Where is he? That didn't even pop up. I didn't even see it pop up. Well, Infamous out there, and I don't understand what the VSC was for. Well, the VSC, anyway. And Salvo's in then, he's going to take this as an advantage, especially from 1 shot 2 down. This is the Haas team work on that car, get him out, and the VSC hasn't ended yet. Looks like he's going to gain a little bit of time, but Salvo's going to get the other end of it. Going to pass both of these two. And Sentinel moves back up to 5th. And we should go on green flag racing very shortly. As actually Tim, what's happened to Tim? When did Tim get passed by Shankster? This is great news for Shankster against Toussaint right now. He's in 2nd place, getting almost 18 points as the gap for him and Play Dutch is 34.2 seconds. Was in the pits then. Actually missed out as we went green. Flag racing, and it's going to get passed by Zaza then at the pits, and he's on the mediums. That's interesting. I think Softs could have gone to the end as Play Dutch is in the pits for scheduled stop, and he's got a big enough gap to make this pit stop. As the Racing Points are fighting it out, it looks like, as there's no team orders at the moment. Maybe team orders near the end of the race. Could be a very interesting fight we do have. We will keep an eye on board with the battle with Salvador. He's really getting a little bit of time on Toussaint right now, so we'll keep an eye on that fight. Black Countryman says the PSN has gone down. Not surprising for what happened yesterday. I'll check that, or it might have been Codemaster's connection. Oh, the PSN servers are good at the moment. Might be Codemaster though. Remember, Dirt Rally 2.0 is a free game, so there may be a lot of people on that game at the moment. Toussaint has rejoined. Toussaint has got control of the car, but it's too late. He's made a pit stop. So there's going to be damage limitation then. As here comes Gavra. Could Gavra spoil the day for Toussaint in the Toro Rosso? He gets the job done. Toussaint's down in P7 then. Toussaint is going to have to do a bit of recovery damage, and now Shanks has probably realised this, and he really wants to get the position ahead of Tim. Tim's in 2nd, and these two are still fighting it out for who's going to be the head Racing Point. I think now Tim has realised that Shankster is in a championship fight, lets him through. I think it's a 3-second time penalty added to his time in 16th. 29 viewers, which is great to see. Toussaint then does get the job done on Gavra. Gavra's just on pace right now in the Renault. Salvo slowly catches up, 1 shot 2 down. But Tim isn't finished with Shankster right now. This is very crucial, especially for Shankster and Toussaint in this championship fight. Toussaint is in 6th place right now, only going to get 8 points. Shankster is going to get 18 points at the moment. Well, Toussaint's got soft tyres. He can go for fastest lap. Fastest lap is a 35.8, but could go for it. Shankster gets a 3-second time penalty. It's crucial then between the Racing Point drivers. These two still out at the finish. As here comes Tim, going on the inside, and the switch yet again between these two. This isn't good though, because 1 shot 2 down. It is only 9.7 seconds, 1 lap, 21 out of 28. But if they keep battling like this, switching position every lap, and it gets a lot closer in the battling, they could lose a lot of time to 1 shot 2 down. Italy's got a lot of penalties. Player sets a new fast lap, 34.2. Now, he's really flying. He's gained 18 seconds ahead of Tim now, the gap is. Yeah, I do believe that is correct there, also assassin with everything. They weren't expecting the servers to be like this, but they should make, you know, the servers quite high in capacity to what they actually, the amount of PS4s they make, they should make it at higher than what they make. But unfortunately, I don't think they can do it like that. As is the race point there? Tim had to get out of the way. Oh, Shankster, was that Duke's AI? Yes, it was. Duke's AI almost cost Shankster and could have given wing damage there. Shankster will not be happy with that, and especially won't be happy with the Renault team of leaving Duke out there. And Shankster's lost a little bit of time out of Tim and is out of DRS range. This isn't good for him. Salvo's caught up with 1 shot 2 down now, 2.7 seconds. Toussaint is 15.7 seconds off Salvo, so I don't think Toussaint is going to get any more positions in today's race. Black Country Must says he can't rejoin, and I think it's just because of the Pearson servers at the moment. Black Country Mush and Codemasters. It ain't Codemasters' fault that this is happening, it's just they weren't expecting any of this. Don't get me wrong, Codemasters are at fault sometimes, but you're right there. I don't think Tim is going to be playing championship for his teammate, but it could all change on the final lap. They could switch and Tim could give Shankster the position. At the moment, Shankster is only going to score 15 points. He doesn't have to worry about Toussaint getting the fastest lap. Toussaint's fast lap was a 35.6. Dutch's fast lap was a 34.2. I think Dutch is in another world right now, as he's really got some strong pace. It's the only fact we do have on track. So Shankster has caught back up then after that Renault made him lose the time he's getting. Tim runs a little bit wide. Oh no, Shankster, you're not going to do it. Oh, I thought you were through the S section. You've got a championship to think about. I know you are teammates, but don't do it through the S section. You don't want to ruin your championship chances. If you retire and Toussaint gains those points, the next round you need to score the most points you can, or that's your championship done and dusted. Have a look. As there's yellows further behind, that is a Ferrari, I believe, of Tekers. Or Zaza, I believe it's either Tekers or Zaza. As we go back on board with Shankster now then, down the big straight. DRS is active. There's going to make a move on Tim very shortly, and there's a Williams just ahead. As here comes Shankster. Around the outside, Tim has to give him the space. A side-by-side great race between both Racing Point drivers. I didn't actually lost that much time to 1 shot 2 down, as I did say earlier. Gap now 10.4 seconds from 1 shot 2 down. As here comes Tim, very late launch, locks up a little bit, trying to get on this inside. Shankster does see this, and they have to watch out as they're going through the fast right hand. They are teammates, don't want to take each other out. Oh, and Shankster made an error and has to give Tim the position back. Unfortunately, we didn't get the best camera angle for that. But it looked like there, Shankster just lost it on the curb, and Tim there gets his way done, and they're both in the same tyre life, as they did pick the same lap. And Shankster now is going to possibly make a launch into turn 1, possibly. Thinks about it, which stays behind now. It's 1 lap, 24 out of 28. Only 4 more laps left until this race ends. Is trying to close up, trying to just make this final move, trying to just stay with his teammate, and this is not what he needs right now. Just say it's 12.7 seconds from Sauber, so he is picking up as Williams, or maybe Sanke, I believe that is, has lagged out as well. Oh, that's not good. As the Williams did look like they were possibly for a point today, and yet again it looks like they're not going to score any points, and that's unfortunate for the Williams team. Do you guys think Williams are going to score a point at the end of the season? As now we see Shankster now really getting aggressive, going on the inside this time, trying to make the move and keep it this time, make it stick. Yet again, Tim tries to switch back, possibly on the outside this time. Shankster goes a little bit deep, Tim sees this opportunity. There's almost a little bit of contact there, and Tim tried to go for the lunge, thought about it, has to stay behind, couldn't see a bigger gap without contact. And see if Shanks then can make this corner right this time. And yet, there we go, he takes the corner decent as here comes Tim. Look at Tim, he's really eager for this second place, going around the outside, runs off the track, has to wait to see where Shanks has to give that position back. He completely went off the track and overtaken. Will he give the position back? No, he doesn't at the moment. He stays ahead. Oh, is he going on? Yeah, he's letting him through there. Great respect there from Tim after he took off track, lets him back through, and now he can go back racing. Tim isn't finished as one lap 25. They've been battling every single lap since they've been next to each other after the VSC, as that was Infamilla who unfortunately retired. However, though, they have lost a little bit of time now to 1 shot 2 down. 5.5 seconds the gap is. They've lost a lot of time. It was 10 seconds early, now it's 5.5. And speaking about Salvo's actually gained a little bit of time on 1 shot 2 down, now a second. And Two Saints gained 5 seconds on Salvo. As here comes Tim then, going for round number 7 possibly to try and overtake. And no, because he hasn't got that much ERS, but look at Shankster. Shankster's playing it smart. Tim runs a little bit wide. Shankster's almost got 100% ERS. And we will show you the fight now with Salvo then, if you want a bit of action with the Haas and the Red Bull. Oh, Blackish Mush actually, AI passes Tech as his AI. Sitting now 9.8 seconds. As we'll keep an eye on the fight though for Shanks and Tim, see if they do the switch again. As here comes Salvo then, he is starting to close up on those softs. He's done 6 laps on him. People who did 6 laps earlier like Gogola made a mistake, softs weren't working. Runs a bit wide out the final corner, doesn't lose that much time. It's within DRS range now. So possibly could see the Haas driver of Salvo making another position very soon. On lap 26 out of 28 and touches again 30 seconds, could go on another set of softs, pit and go for a new fastest lap if you wanted to. He's got a commanding lead. But how many people has he lapped? He's lapped up to 12th place. He's lapped Robert Codfeller twice. That's Willie Seconds AI there. That's a very slow AI and dangerous place to slow down. Salvo yet again. He's not within range yet. We'll jump on board with Tim dead quick, and then we'll see if Tim gets through then, past Shankster, and the job is done. What about Salvo? Will we get even close enough? Not at the moment, as we're now on the penultimate lap of this race. We'll stay on board with this battle still though. Gogola gets a 3-second time penalty added to his time. Salvo has caught up a little bit more now, but didn't lose that much time to the final corner. He is in within DRS range. Yet again, Shankster and Tim are still fighting it out for P2. As when we go on the final lap, then we'll go on board with the Racing Point team yet again. No way that's played. No, that can't be it. Here's played which is really about to start his final lap. And yet again, Salvo's not close enough for us to overtake, but Tim is really close to Shankster, and Tim is going on the inside this time on the penultimate lap. Gets the move done, locks up a little bit, and has got to the position. As we watch go board with 1 shot down, Salvo not close enough yet. Only got one more chance to do it. As these two are still scrapping out the Racing Point drivers. These two could make one little mistake, both of them end up in the wall. One shot, two down, Sauber could be on the podium as they're going to go side by side to this fast right-hander. Shanks has to back off and let his teammate Tim stay ahead as Play Duchy is on the final lap. And there's yellows. That is Tekker's, I believe. Or is that Zaza? It's Zaza. Zaza's off. Zaza is off yet again in that S section. They just can't find the grips right now. Sauber's a bit closer this time to one shot, two down now. 6 tenths, last time it's 8 tenths at this part of the track. As on the last lap of this race, Shanks and Tim are still scrapping for P2. And the gap between one shot, two down and Tim is now 2.8 seconds. One little mistake from the Racing Point drivers and one shot, two down could be in closing range. But don't count out Sauber though. He's now started to pick up the pace a little bit more. We may have to jump off board this battle very soon as Play Duchy will be coming. Final few corners very shortly. So we'll jump forward with Shankster then. Will he manage to keep on second? We'll still keep an eye on the Haas and the Red Bull battle further behind. But I think this battle is more important for the championship in sake at the moment. So he's in 6 seconds and Shankster defends on the inside. Tim's not having it. Tim then has to go on the outside to possibly go for one. May try to switch back if he backs up a little bit. Unfortunately can't get it done. It is on the outside though and gets the move as Play Dutch takes the win then in the USA Grand Prix. And Triple O does get a point for the McLaren team. Dirty Larry also crosses the line. And Shankster versus Tim's going at it. Oh, and there's been a contact between the Racing Point team there. And Shankster will have to wait. And I think that is it. I think Tim is going to take second place. I don't think Sauber, unfortunately, is going to make the job done on one shot, two down there. He was just too far back at the moment. But anything could happen. One shot, two down could make one crucial mistake to the final corner. Here comes Tim then. Will he let his teammate through? Yes, he does. His teammate takes second. Tim takes it. So there was Timos in the end. And one shot, two down dumps them both. Takes second. Shanks the third. Tim fourth. Sauber sixth. Toussaint moves to fifth. Gavra in seventh then at the moment, and that is what has cost him between both Racing Point drivers there. Just fighting. If they weren't fighting, probably Shankston could have got second. But that is too bad for Shankston and Tim, but should be happy with third and fourth at least. Especially beating Toussaint there, especially beating the Taurus team in the constructors' points today. As Gavra then is coming round the track with going finishing seventh. My driver of the day there, I'm going to have to give it to Play Dutch. You know, he commanding race there, astonishing pace. Got to give it him. I would give it then to Saint and next recovering it to fifth, but Play Dutch without a doubt today. As Gogola takes eighth, and Alex Gunnermack in ninth, so McLaren take the final 2 points. Actually, Alex Gunnermack jumps up to seventh, I think that says. Yes, he does. Alex Gunnermack jumps up to seventh there, so a few more points for the McLaren team. But this man has been a dominant force in the USA Grand Prix today. It's just astonishing pace. Unfortunately, didn't start first in quali, started fourth on mediums, but he takes the win at the end of it. Top step on the podium is Play Dutch. One shot, two down in second place, and I believe it was Shanks in third, Tim in fourth. Great result there for Play Dutch there to take the win in the USA Grand Prix. Here we go then, so Play Dutch with a commanding win with 35.6 seconds at nearest car to him. Play Dutch then takes the win, one shot, two down, takes second. Shanks takes third, he'll be happy with that after the mistake he had earlier on in the race. Tim in fourth, Toussaint in fifth, so that's good news for Shanks today. He's outscored Toussaint today. Getting a little points in Drivers' Championship. Sauber in sixth, Alex Gunnermack in seventh, Gabra in eighth, Gogola in ninth, Triple O in 10th, Black Country Rush AI in 11th, I believe. Tekker's AI as well in 12th. Zaza 13th. Willie Zanker's AI in 14th. Unfortunately, the Williams team could have scored a point. Unfortunately, it let him down on the second strategy. Duke in 15th. Dirty Larry in 16th. And Robert Codfather in 17th. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the final one. I believe that was Infama in 18th. Wow. It's been a very great race day and great to commentate over. There's also good news for Racing Point as well. They've outscored Toro Rosso in the constructors then, and they're still in the fight. with the few rounds remaining, and I believe the next round is Mexico. I'll just clarify that. Let's have a look then. Let's have a look. And yes, it is Mexico next week, which will be very interesting for the drivers, as it's also another tricky circuit, and hopefully the Ferraris can manage their issues what they had in the S section. There's going to be another S section in Mexico, which is a lot faster, and you've got to get it right to gain a lot of time. But other than that, it's been a great race, great to commentate over for today for Gavra, and great battling all over, especially with the Racing Point drivers, and a good race win for Play Dutch with a dominating win of 35 seconds, so good result for him. Well then, I'm going to do the closing out procedure. I've been your commentator IRL Neon, or some people may know me as Jared Fosbury. It's been great to commentate, and if you do want to see more Gavra content, hit the like button and subscribe, turn the notification bell on, as I believe there is a race tomorrow. But if you want to see some more of the Premier Series, join me next week on Monday, as I will be here to the end of the season. And hopefully my friend of Kevin Harrison, or his next suspect, can join me next week. But yeah, this has been a great race, and if you guys, as I said, want to see more, do subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time, and have a nice day. Goodbye for now.